What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm your host, Primetime Phil, and today we're going to talk about, the bye week. And of course, like always, my co-host, GameTime Bryan. GameTime, what's going on, man?
Primetime Phil, what is going on?
No, I'm out of my Cat in the Hat costume, so I don't know. I'm back to Primetime Phil. And I'm ready to talk some Cowboys. I mean, save the franchise bye week. It came at a great time, I think. What do you think about that?
Listen,
the timing.
First things first is I'm right where I want to be. I wanted to be 6-2 with Dak Prescott. I'm 6-2 with him missing 5 games. If people outside of like being a Cowboys fan, I challenge anybody in the league to say we're going to lose our left tackle and we're going to lose our starting quarterback for 5 games and be 6-2. It's unheard of, which goes to our strength of our team, which is our defense, and I'm not upset about it. Our offense has plenty of room to grow. I'm excited, man. I hope everybody else is excited because we're only going to get better. We haven't hit our stride yet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've had some injuries at a lot of. Hold on, let me pull out of this whole thing. But you were actually, as we go through this, we're going to talk a little bit about the state of franchise. But we've had, obviously our share of injuries, which is a very common thing within the NFL. Every team has to deal with injuries, some of them more extent, and there's just some injuries that we know we're going to have to deal with before the season starts, with Tyron Smith and everything. But obviously, weeks, maybe a month or so away. We'll see how that goes with him and his possible return. But you had some little thing on Twitter going about some stuff that we'll get into as well later. But as we go over to the chat before we get into the topics, of course, we have Gina Thorne. What's going on, Gina? And Mike Aldana. What's going on?
Mike Aldana, what's up, my man? Thanks for hopping over. I appreciate it.
And we got Cole's Cowboy. Cole's Cowboy is going to be joining us here in the next couple of minutes. About 15 minutes or so, he'll be joining us to talk a little bit more about it, giving his take as well too. But when I was talking about the state of the franchise, we all understand positions. I think we've all been going week to week, worrying about this position, worrying about that position, debating on who should be the starter of each position. We've gone through it. We didn't make any moves before the trade deadline. I think everybody's up in arms on that. So there's just been a lot of stuff for nothing happening, so a lot of drama within that. So
I'm not happy how we came into the season with our receiver depth, hoping and praying. I expected way more. If anybody's been following us on our preview of the season, I expected Tolbert to be playing. So not adding a veteran of a, I understand we got what's his name that's getting ready to be activated.
James Washington.
Washington. Thanks. But he got hurt early in training camp, so I don't know what to expect with him. So I'm sure you can remember me saying if we suffer one injury, I'm kind of worried. But the emergence of our tight ends, and hopefully we can get Tolbert the ball, and hopefully he progresses. He's got the talent. I think he's thinking a lot, and once everything clicks, he's going. I mean, you'll see it on the field. But I was more upset coming into the season that we didn't get a wide receiver. Am I upset that we didn't get Brandon Cooks? Yeah, but not for what we would have had to have given up. I don't want to give up a 2 and a 4 and have to be on the hook for most of the $18 million next year.
Yeah,
we got too many guys coming up. We're going to have a lot of money to spend to re-up guys we want to keep, not be handcuffed by having to let somebody go on a tough decision.
Yeah.
So, I'm good. There's always things you want to be done, but we're 6-2, man.
Yeah. When I look at the wide receiver position, definitely I'm with you. I'm with a lot of Cowboy fans. Why the hell did everything happened in the offseason with Amari Cooper? He's doing really well over there. He definitely would have complimented the offense. It would have been always been into a debate, but it's something that we can't we can't go back and you kind of change that.
Yeah,
and
we
so,
can't go back.
So what we knew with James Washington coming in, to me, he was a lot like Michael Gallup. So I think what does Michael Gallup do a lot too? I mean, he unfortunately gets hurt, and so that's what James Washington. So when we look at the fact that maybe James Washington possibly coming back here in the next week or so, you kind of have to look at that as if you don't have the injury, think of James Washington as that agent signing. Is he one of those signings that you would have been like, okay, hey, at least they did something? I mean, I'm not sure if I'm convinced, but it's definitely better than some of the stuff that we have on this roster. So what do you think about James Washington coming back?
Yeah, I like James Washington. He's a guy, if nothing else, he could stretch the field. He can do that. I think, like I keep saying, and I made a comment, like we're gonna bring somebody on at 7:30. His name is David, and he's an Eagle fan. Somehow I got roped in. Coles was involved, and there's a lot like this narrative out there that I don't know what else you want us to do. We're Cowboy fans. We root for Cowboys. We can see the standings. The Eagles are the better team in the standings. Okay, that's the bottom line. We can't argue with that. We can't. But what we can say is, if you didn't have your quarterback, like I've already stated, and your left tackle, but I don't even care about the left tackle. You don't have Jalen Hurts for 5 games. Are you 8-0?
Yeah, that's correct.
You're probably 500 at best. Even with this, the easy schedule that you've had.
Yeah, because you had to rely on his. Yeah, they've had to rely on his legs a lot. Brooklyn Joe is in the house. Gina Thorne says, and I'm coming back with that because we're gonna go deep into that when he's on. Gina Thorne says we did good by not getting Brandon Cooks. I'm with you, Gina. I think I heard Brian talk about it in the last hour with Mark, where they're talking about, he's been to a lot of different teams and
traded 4 times already, Gina. Why?
So I think it's the big contract. It's the big contract that I wouldn't want to eat. I mean, I understand that you want a nice receiver, nice, little jewel there, but that, Brandon Cooks
Eric
to me
Weir's,
isn't it.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, making a trade.
Listen, Brooklyn Joe. I was thinking, just as a novice, I don't sit there and look at the trade chart. Like, come draft time, I'll have that chart out.
Brooklyn Joe's right.
We'll do our thing. But in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, you want to get rid of Brandon Cooks? I'll give you a 3 or 2. I don't have a problem with. But if I'm giving up a 2, you're eating
contract. Yeah.
You're eating 10, 12 million at 18. If you want my second, now we all agree. That's why I wasn't opposed to giving away a first this year for a top-notch receiver. A first and a late, only because our first is going to be at the end of a round. It's going to be mid-20s to late 20s. Hey, listen, I hope it's 32. You know what that means. But so, and then you end up taking guys who maybe have a second-round grade in the first round because that's the highest rated guy. I don't have a problem with that. But I don't like trading guys when we have a top 15 or a top 20 pick. I don't want to. I don't want to trade our pick. So.
Yeah.
That being said, Mary Alvarez, how are you?
What's going on, Mary? You got Eric Weir's truth. What part of that? Definitely, there's definitely a lot of truth in there in the sense of what was going on with the whole Brandon Cooks, James Washington, a lot of that wide receiver stuff. Of course, we have Simi Bo go out, so there's a lot within that wide receiver core that you hoping that somebody can come out of there and shine. Whether it's a Michael Gallup kind of getting through his injury, getting back into the system.
Yeah.
It was nice to see Kellen Moore last week get some people involved that we've been wanting to, and obviously with Zeke being out, Pollard got the ball a little bit more in his hands, and he took advantage of it. So it was really nice to see Pollard do his thing as well. You got to remember that Chicago is a really good defense. Again, not the great defense. So I think that Patriots game where they were all of a sudden shutting those Patriots out, knocking them around a little bit, that was more of a little fluke there. But the fact that they did okay against Fields, not great, but at least he's only killing you one way compared to both ways.
Bill, Chicago has the number 1 rated run offense in the league. They are a physical team. I was shocked. Until you play them, you don't realize how physical they are. At one point in the game, they said, listen, I'm not saying they didn't think they had a chance to win, but I'm sorry when you're down double digits and you're in the fourth quarter and you're still running the ball.
Yeah, because you're not
really trying to winning the game. You're just trying to inflict your will, and they did.
Yep.
Got out to them. The Eagles have to play them again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a physical, long season. Hopefully, knock on wood,
We learn.
like the brunt of our major injuries are behind us. Now you know how it works. Every week, it's by attrition. It's not how you're playing now. We played so with the backup quarterback, and we're 6-2. We have one of the better records in the league.
Yep.
I expect us, which was my comment on Twitter, that my opinion is that we have a higher ceiling. The Eagles can do no better. Now they're saying, well, look, we could play better. Sure, you can. You could also get injuries, like other teams have, like we have, and we'll see how you deal with that. It's very seldom does a team go wire to wire. I'm not like wishing injury on you. That's the nature of the league.
It's just like the Jordan Davis thing. I mean, Jordan Davis now on IR for them.
Yeah,
So I mean,
he's out for 6 weeks.
everybody has to kind of deal with those injuries. We got some people coming back. Hopefully, I mean, we saw a big injury for us. Damone Clark play last week, and Damone Clark was looking good. He was chasing people down the sideline. Looking really fast.
When he gets confident. Yeah, when he gets confident, watch out. We're the third youngest team. I keep hearing these people say, "Oh, well, Dallas's window." Our window is open, wide.
I think they're just talking about the window for Jerry.
Yeah, right.
that's the play on the window.
Yeah, but I mean, we're the third youngest team.
So as we're talking about these wide receivers, the more I want to focus on is what I'm happy about is the tight end group. Obviously, I'm ready, of course, to move on from Dalton Schultz, but again, the fact that he's a guy that Dak relies on, I'm okay with it, but I like Ferguson, I like Hendershot. I just don't like how Ferguson was falling down a lot last week. So I don't know if he was just not being able to come off those blocks, but I didn't really get to see that part. But I just saw that he was falling down a lot, so he wasn't given that option underneath to Dak. But hey, he's going to learn as the season goes on. But still, really good.
They're both rookies, and they're both way ahead of where Dalton Schultz was his rookie year. You guys remember how he looked his rookie year? We were like, "Who is this guy?" He was dropping balls. He wasn't. They're way ahead of the Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
So, and I love Dalton.
Cool.
And I
Come
think
on
we
in.
use him and use him up. Alana Walker, the window is for Dak.
Maybe. You might not be wrong there. You might not be wrong there.
Was he 29?
Well, I mean, you look at the end of his contract. There's a lot of people also that their big part of their contracts are ending around that time. So they could do a revamp of the offense with contracts of Dak.
Dak's going to play as long as his body's going to allow him, and the last 2 weeks he has the highest QB rating in the league. Just think about that. So that's a fact. Dak Prescott is the best QB over the last 2 weeks since his return. He's only going to get better.
Hold on one second.
You saw the jump he had from his the first game back to last week. He played with a lot of confidence and everything that we've been talking about. He's played with tempo, which is what we have to do as a team, and he needs to run the ball. There was one time that was a little wonky. I didn't like how he went down, but other than that, he has to do that. There he is, Cole's Cowboys. What up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing all right, man. Bye week, we're 6-2. People getting healthy. I think the bye week comes at a great time, even for me, man. I got busy at work this week, so I was like, oh my god, thank God it's a bye week. So, and as I turn my back, I hear that you guys are starting trouble on Twitter, and when I saw Cole was involved, I was like, yeah, I'm not really surprised there because every time Cole has a comment somewhere.
Listen, Bill, I thought of the show. I thought of the show. It's a bye week. I know we wanted to do a little review, like a little look ahead, but this overwhelming, even on ESPN and Fox, is that the Eagles, listen, they're the best team right now. I'm not going to argue that, but they don't give trophies out after week 8.
Yeah, and their schedule will allow them to continue that on. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it's not going to change.
And that's the problem is that you see those little graphic. There's a graphic out there showing you kind of breaking each game down and showing what they have, and everybody's seen this graphic. But when you look at it, it's like it's just stating facts, and it's just, of course, like they get upset because it's just it's truth. It is truth. It's like last year, obviously, where the Cowboys really playing a lot of people, probably not, but you can see the path. Brian and I kind of predicted it. I'm pretty sure Cole, you were right there as well. That we saw the Eagles doing really well because of the schedule, and they've done a good job of adding personnel too. I'm not going to lie on that one. They did a really good job of adding a couple more guys. What do you look at when you see the comparison there compared to what they were and where they at? And where do you see their first loss?
Man, I see it. Let's see.
It's a ways.
Commanders might get them. The Commander, any team in our division can get them. They can.
The way they played on
and they play the
Thursday.
Giants. Monday Night Football, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not positive, but
Monday Night Football.
Like me and Coles were involved in a. There was a lot of people involved, but some Dallas fan in South Jersey, North Jersey, somewhere in Jersey, posted a video just going overboard about Eagles are better. We can't use Dak. Hey, I'm not being a homer if I say Coles. What is the Eagles' record if Jalen Hurts is not playing for 5 games? What's their record? Is it 6-2? Maybe it's 6-2.
Possibly.
But I mean, come on, man. That's part of it. Injury.
Let me tell you, and Phil, you hit it right on the head of what I was going to say. Last year, man, the Eagles was like every team, everybody, the media included, was getting on the quarterbacks we played. They was disputing the amazing abilities of Trayvon Diggs getting 11 interceptions. They made the stat of yards given up. Now, let me
they made a stat.
Have we heard the stat this year? Have we heard about a stat of yards given up this year?
No,
I haven't heard.
That doesn't matter.
He's only got
Nobody
4
talking
picks
about
or whatever. 3
exactly.
picks.
So that's proof that of course, that star is powerful, man. But the Eagles, they know that they're playing weak teams. I ran into many Eagle content creators that talk about it in their own live streams.
Yeah, I mean, I think we really all are when it really comes to it. Because you look at the NFC East. I mean, who is the juggernaut? I mean, I thought the Rams were going to be better than they were going into the season, and they look terrible. I mean, maybe San Francisco improved some, but they still have weaknesses.
But in the same vein, or in the same breath, they're 8-0.
They're
the best team. But again, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying you can't get better, but you can't. Our ceiling is higher. I'm sorry, it just is.
It is because
you can't say that it's not higher. We're not playing on all cylinders on offense, and and our defense is only going to get better. We're young. We're so young.
Exactly.
So and everybody's losing sight of that. Well. Now, listen, we may end up getting too far behind the Eagles to catch them for the division.
Yeah,
but I'm more worried. I'm more worried about how we're playing going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's I
stay healthy,
and I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, are we going to be able to face teams that's going to get us ready for the playoffs? I mean, I don't know. So that kind of concerns me.
Our schedule is a hell of a lot. It's tougher just road and home.
Yeah, compared to road and home and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, any possible tough game that you would think would be hard for the Eagles, they're at home. It's not like they have to go to Lambeau. They don't have to go to Tennessee, which is a tough place. Well, no, they did already go to Tennessee, didn't they? Eagles? I think they did.
I think they did.
No, they didn't even. They haven't played Tennessee yet.
I thought they did.
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
I think they come to Philly.
But I mean, it just seems like it's one of them years where, we have to go on the road for our harder games. But listen, that's fine. I don't care. We're a good road team with our defense, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Dragon35 says, I think as an Eagle fan, our only challenge are everyone in the NFC East, which is true. I mean, Giants are going to give you a fight. Of course, Cowboys, Eagles, and on both sides, they're going to give a fight. Washington, even when as shitty as they are, they got Heineke, and he's a better option than Wentz. I mean, you see a little bit of a magic that he's able to kind of do. So he's correct. And then, of course, Titans, you don't know what team you're going to get each week. You don't know if you're going to get a team that's going to all of a sudden dominate, or they're going to just disappear. And then the Packers, of course. Oh my God! Like, I The only reason why I would have a problem with that game is because the Cowboys tend to always have a problem with Aaron Rodgers. Even if they get jump out ahead, I mean, there's just certain teams that that teams just have problems putting away, and I think Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers has been kind of one of those things. So obviously we have never had the defense that we have now. I don't think I've ever seen this team ever have a defense like they did now. The only problem is now the offense can't complement it as well. And what you saw last week was a complimentary game. It's just that they rushed by 1 point. At one point they rushed with a minute left in the game, threw an interception. Those are the things that I don't like to see, and those are the problems that I see occurring. That can we ever really truly get to that potential? What do you think, Brian? Can we get to that potential? What you're talking about?
Yeah, I definitely think we can get to that potential. It's never going to be what we want. We have this vision of just the perfect. I mean, listen, like I said at the beginning of the year, our defense is what travels. Our defense isn't going anywhere. As leaky as people want to say our run defense is, it's only going to get better. It is. We got young linebackers coming in the fold. You get Damone Clark. It's just an exciting time. Yeah, offensively, you see Pollard getting the ball more. This whole narrative where Pollard needs to be the guy. There's nothing wrong with a two-back thing. I would be fine if he slightly had more carries than Zeke. I think you have to, depend on the game. You really have to see what kind of game is being played, and if you need a guy to just smash and just run out the clock, then Zeke's the guy. But I'm just excited. But looking at the chat here, we got
Mike Aldana.
Zeke will come out of go ahead.
No, I read above it. It says Mike Aldana goes. Dallas needs to be concerned about Aaron Jones, even with our run defense. And you're right. I mean, I think every single team we play, we have to worry about that. Every team tends to have some kind of star. It's you hardly see any teams out there that don't have any type of running back in the backfield. So I mean, I think that's just something they have to definitely be a concern with every single week. Cole, are you still there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. I have to get some.
Okay, good.
I gotta get my light.
Cool.
Yeah, and Cole, when he's ready, he can answer this. But where did you have Dallas? We'll look back and before our guest comes in another 5-6 minutes. Where did you have Dallas? I know I had Dallas at 6-2 at the bye, and that was not with losing Dak or anything. So I'm ecstatic. Yeah. I can't help that the Eagles are 8-0.
I thought we
all the Eagles fans in here. Congratulations. You are the best team at this stage.
Well, and this is your first time being 8-0.
Enjoy it, I'm not going to give you anything more than that. I'm not a guy that's going to say you have an easy schedule. Everybody knows that, but you can only beat who's on your schedule. So I'm not even going to down you for that.
Well, you got to look at it
as
too.
As an Eagle fan, you got to look at it that you beat us.
Well, you got to. I'm sorry to jump in, but you're making this point. I think it's great because you don't pick for the other teams. It's their job to get personnel. It's their job to get. So obviously you don't pick the schedule. So I'm right there with you, Brian. Continue. Yeah. I'm sorry to jump in.
No, it's fine. I was just on a roll, but Dak has never lost to Jalen Hurts. Never lost. Now I understand they don't play against each other, but I'm just saying that's just a fact. He's 7-3 against the Eagles. So I'm sorry, but I'm allowed as a Cowboy fan to use that as part of my thinking going forward.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. You guys are the best team right now. I mean, I can't argue. You haven't lost. So kudos to you. But I'm just warning Eagles fans that it's not how you're playing now. You saw what happened with the New England Patriots, and no offense, you're not as good as that New England Patriots team was. It's just hard to do it. Because then we start getting to the end of the year, then it's more like, are you going for the undefeated or are you going to rest guys? It becomes a distraction, really. I understand it's a good distraction, but I'm sorry, these are facts. So how did you have them, Coles, at this point?
Before Dak was, had got injured, I was like, hey, we can probably start the bye with 5-3. You know what I'm saying? I had us losing to either the Bucks or the
split. I had a split somehow.
And and I knew we was gonna lose to the Eagles first round.
Yes, I
You know what
said
I'm
we'll
saying?
lose in Philly. Yep.
Yeah. So I expected us to lose like 3 games already off the bat. But hey, after Dak was injured, I was like, man, I don't even know. I had
Well,
no
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was devastated. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got a kick in the stomach again after 1 week. It was like,
the game.
but now it's behind us. And
Yeah.
I know on Mark's Live, now I'm not going to go to this extent, but we were talking about, well, listen, there is an option on the table after not only did we lose, we lost our quarterback, and then Tyron Smith went down.
Yeah.
So there was an option of, okay, it could be the Chaz Green, where we get exposed, and we're really in trouble for the rest of the year with our left tackle.
Green, mother.
Or we can have Tyler Smith can blossom and hope. Now, I'm not saying he's Pro Bowl, but he's definitely held his own. So it's actually been a blessing for Tyler Smith. It's actually been a blessing because he's getting all this play time, man, and he's not looking bad at all, and he's getting all this experience as a rookie. I didn't think he was going to be this good. Did you, Coles? I didn't.
I figured he would have grew into his way. I was more concerned about the penalties, which we rarely see. Like, we're not seeing it.
That's what I mean.
Much as Connor Williams. Connor Williams was really hurting us with penalties. He's not.
Yeah.
He'll have a penalty here and there, but they all do. But Connor Williams, I mean, every big play going back. You know what I'm saying? It's because of him. We're not having that situation with Tyler Smith. With the offensive line, I feel confident about the offensive line now than I have in many, many years.
Yeah.
Ever since 2016.
And think about it. Think about the guys that aren't here. I really like Let's-Go as a right tackle. I like him. So he's going to be like in the future. Yeah. So there he is.
What's going on,
Dave? Thank you so much for joining the show. David from Twitter, Eagles fan. He's not far from me. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming in and joining our chat. Ready for the Phillies game? We'll get the niceties out of the way. You ready? You think they're going to take it to a Game 7 or what?
I want to say yes. I mean, honestly, like I said, we're playing with house money right now, so I feel good anyway.
I do, but man, because I'm a big Phillies fan. The Castellanos' at bats, man, they bother me at times, man. I really wish they would have bunted the other night, but anyway, that being said, we were just talking about the Eagles. We said, as of right now, you guys are 8-0. You can't argue with that. I've never been a guy that said, you have a weak schedule. You can only beat who's on your schedule. Now, we got beat up last year. We heard, like Coles was just saying, Dallas is playing nobodies.
We're all playing nobodies.
Yeah, and all I was saying, now, there was some dude, I don't even know if this dude was a Cowboy fan. Coles, I'm with you. I think he was an Eagle. Be that as it may, like Mark Holmes said, he's like, the Eagles are the best team. I agree with that.
Could have lost a bet. You never know what could have happened either.
Yeah. I even had them beating Dallas a couple weeks ago. It wasn't hard. I mean, they're like, what, I think he made a comment like, well, you really can't use the excuse that you had your backup quarterback, and if Dak was there, you would have won. Well, if Dak was there, his record against the Eagles is 7-3. So
yeah, but those are other seasons. I still don't understand those. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's last year.
It doesn't matter, but the fact there was 5 minutes to go in the game and we were down 3 points. Now, as you said, and I agree with you, that drive was a killer. That was a gut punch because we came all the way back and with Cooper Rush, which we could see now after 2 games of Dak being back, and he has the best quarterback rating through the last 2 weeks, just because he's a good quarterback, whether you like him or not. He's a good quarterback.
Oh yeah, he's great. I think he's really good.
I mean, everybody forgets, like Jalen Hurts is this year, and he deserves it. Through 3 quarters of the season last year, he was the front runner, like Jalen Hurts is, to win the MVP. So I mean, it's these people who go from like year to year. All I'm saying is, you can't I'm happy with our team. I had a 6-2 with
I would
that.
be.
You know, and you know, so
You guys should be ecstatic.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
trust me,
that's
we are.
exactly what I'm saying. So, all right. So we were just talking. What do you think? I don't like me and Coles are saying. I don't think that Dallas is going to win the division just because I think we're going to get too far back based on your schedule, and that's not your fault.
Yeah.
But you know, like I made a comment before the season that I don't care if we win a division. It's nice, but it's more about how you're playing going into the playoffs and health. I'm sorry,
Right.
I'm not going to couch it. But what do you think about the rest of the schedule? And I mean, what do you think going forward?
I mean, I think going undefeated is just kind of silly. I mean, it could happen, I guess, you know, but, you know, our schedule going forward, I mean, I see like a couple games that could be trap games. Honestly, this Texans game I thought might have been the trap game just because they're on the bye week. We're on a short week, you know, and honestly, the Texans have only lost by one score in every game. So the record's they're not as bad as their record says, frankly. I'm not saying they're good.
No, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, the Eagles are tough to beat because, like you guys saw in your game, you can beat us with the run, but we get ahead. So, like, if you get ahead in the games, running the ball is great, and it does work, but it doesn't necessarily win you the game. So, and I will say this about the Eagles. We don't win pretty. It's going to look like games are close and we're not really beating people, but it's partly the way that they're coached and the way they're playing. You know, we run the clock out. You know, we play smart football.
What I've seen through the first few weeks, and Coles, you can hop in. I'm not trying to cut you off. Is it seems like the Eagles are talented, as much as talent as I've seen them have had in a while, only because it seems like in the Jacksonville game, it was like, okay, playing like crap. It's time to get our act together. And then they go right down and they score. They're very talented. I'm not saying they're not.
Yeah.
But, you know, and they're the best team. Like, again, I mean, I live in South Jersey, so I probably get an idea of what you're dealing with the local some of the local Cowboys fans. Coles, a lot of the Cowboys fans around here are loudmouth. Yeah, they call them cockroaches. They only come out when they're winning, and then
those are the ones that say Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott.
Oh God, please stop! Oh my God.
Well, you know, so I get why the initial response is, "Oh, F the Cowboys," but you can't say that. They're a very good team.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, man.
Dallas's defense. I mean, Dallas is the third youngest team in the league, and that's with Jason Peters, who's going to be, I think he just turned 40 or 41. So they're not going nowhere. The Eagles are not going nowhere. Eagles have turned it around amazingly. Howie Roseman, as much as I don't think he's a good drafter, I think the draft fell to them this year, and they did good. Now, you know, and then you added A.J. Brown. I mean, dude, that was the best move that you could have done because drafting receivers is a crapshoot. As our friend Philly 500, he thought Justin Jefferson was ass, right, Cole? He didn't want no parts of Justin Jefferson.
I wanted him so bad. I was so mad. Oh man.
Yeah, but it was hysterical, you know. And I wanted CD, and I kind of wish I like CD.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson's better, right, Cole?
Justin Jefferson's better than CD line.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
He is. I hate to say it, but he is.
Yes.
He took on that role.
Attitude about him.
He took on the number one role, right?
It's almost like he heard Philly's comments during the draft and said, "Fuck it," you know.
So I
and now Rager's playing for him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
yeah. Yeah.
But see, this is what I have against a lot of Eagle fans. See, I can be, you know, I can be humble and say, y'all doing great. You know what I'm saying? 8-0. Yeah. I love y'all front office because I wish our front office could take just a page out of the free agency. You know,
free agency.
Gary's got to go, man. For you guys, I'm sorry, he's got to go.
Man,
it's not going to get any better after he goes, man. It's going to go to Steven, and that shit's even worse.
Yeah, it's his son.
Is that worse?
That's who the real. Yeah, he making the real moves. His son, Jerry Jones. He just want his son to succeed.
He just hope Charlotte takes over.
Right. I mean, something, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the fact that we're 6-2 and we got this far with Cooper Rush makes it worse.
So I have to ask you, as an Eagle person, going into his contract year, if Jalen continues to go down the path he is, do you think Eagles go ahead and give him his contract? You guys you're going to be in the same boat as us?
So I'm going to tell you what the fans have been saying kind of like throughout the season. Like, I was always a Hurts supporter, I hated Wentz. I
Yeah,
did.
oh,
I hated
no
him.
blame
I was
you.
so happy when he got hurt. I mean, the year he was.
I know
We went to
what
the
you
Super Bowl.
mean.
He was good, but whatever. Anyway, in the beginning of the season, everyone's like, okay, like after the Vikings game, everyone thought then people started buying in, and people were talking about, oh, maybe we'll extend him for like, 2 seasons or something, and then kind of see where we're at. But they're gonna have to give him like, he's right now he's playing like a top 5 quarterback. I'm not saying that's exactly his ceiling, but he's at that level right now. So like, if they're smart, they should extend him like as soon as they can, because it's only going to get more expensive.
At this point,
they can't touch him to the offseason.
At this point, they're not going to do anything. Like Hurts is going to pull a Dak, and I got news for you. He's probably going to get more than Dak.
Oh, he's definitely going to get more. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's going to. Yeah, I mean,
he's just the next one in line.
Like I'm sure David can like attest to this. Anybody, Dallas. Being a Dallas fan is not easy, only because they haven't won shit since '97. Okay, but yet the media is every year because they know that, and I don't know why, but people don't like to hear this, but they sell tickets, they sell everything. They're more popular. There's a reason why they're on every friggin' week, because more people watch them for various reasons. Nothing to really do with winning. I didn't see winning when I was a kid. I wasn't until I was in my 20s when I saw them win anything, and they won 3 Super Bowls, and they haven't won shit since. So for me, for a lot of us, it's like, we haven't done nothing, but yet the media every year pumps them up, or they shit on them. Mm-hmm. It's one or the other. They could pump them up, and they're almost like they're teeing us up to fail.
Kind of, yeah.
Or we get crapped on, which I like it better this year. Like, I was looking at a stat. The Eagles have been a favorite in every game this year. And if you look at their schedule, they're probably going to be a favorite. The only game I'm curious to see is in Dallas.
We're not favored in Dallas. That's the only game we're not. I think it's by like.
That's crazy, isn't it? I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying it hasn't happened.
Yeah,
that just goes to show you that's coming into the season. I mean, they're playing better than I thought, but that's crazy.
Well, their off season, like you said, was just. I've been an Eagles fan my whole life. Never seen an off season. Howie Roseman hit. I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, A.J. Brown. I mean, they just every single move. And on top of that, now that Hurts has worked out, we're sitting here with potentially a top 5 pick next year. It's probably not going to be top 5. It's probably going to be top 10. We have the Saints first round pick.
Yeah,
so
we need to hope that the Saints start winning some games.
Well, I was telling my friends, I was like, the thing that they're like, the guys that were against Hurts, I'm like, you want him to succeed, because if he succeeds, we've got 2 first round picks, and we can spend it on whoever the best player
what
is.
You need, as opposed to reaching for probably having to give them both up, because one's going to be in the 20s and one in the 15 to get up in the top 1 or 2 to get a guy who you're going to have to wait a couple years. He's probably going to look like shit the first year or 2.
I mean, we're set up pretty well roster wise for a while. I'm just saying, like, capitalize and everything. Like,
but I don't know though, because once Hurts gets his money,
I'm sure it'll.
You got some linemen getting also older as well.
Yeah, so I think you're gonna have to make some decisions, but that's for the off season. We're talking right now, like I said. I mean, always. And
so, what do you guys think about the Giants?
What
do you guys think about the Giants?
Yeah, there we go. Let's talk about the Giants.
Do you guys think they will actually, continue, or do you think they're gonna fade away? You go ahead.
I personally think. I don't like to talk about things when I haven't watched their games. I really haven't watched them play a lot. And they haven't faced the Eagles yet. But I mean, based on what I've seen from plays and like ESPN stuff, it seems like they're very well coached. So, I mean, I could see them sneaking into the playoffs, but I think that the other thing is it's such a weak, the whole, it's not even just the NFC. Like, there's so many weak teams right now. Mm-hmm. The Broncos didn't work out. The 49ers are now they're kind of coming back. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of teams that were supposed to be like in the playoffs aren't. So, like, why wouldn't the Giants make it? I think they're going to probably make the playoffs. They'll probably be a wild card.
Yeah,
I was thinking
Giants.
You think so, Coles? You think they are?
Giants, Eagles, and Philly for sure.
Yeah, I didn't analyze your schedule, but I mean, this is what I'll say. I'll say that the running back is back. He is a problem.
You talking about Miles Sanders?
Or no, I'm talking about from the Giants.
Oh, Giants. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Saquon is back, and I'm happy for him. Only because, on a personal level, I know, like, God forbid we're nice to anybody, but you that injury was devastating. It wasn't one ligament; it was multiple ligaments.
Right.
Running back, and to finally see him have his burst, he's going to get paid. It'll be interesting to see if it's in New York, because that's the one guy every week that scares the hell out of me if I'm playing him. It's Saquon.
Right.
He scores against that. He's a beast. I'm telling you, he's the most talented running back in the league. That doesn't mean he's going to do anything or have stats, but you could just open your eyes. He reminds me on a lesser level than a Barry Sanders. The dude is talented. So I'm happy for him. I just don't know. I would imagine that New York will pay him, but does he want to stay there? He was getting hammered. New York fans were lighting him up.
Well, you got to remember, Daniel Jones' contract year is this year too. So I mean, New York may be in the situation where they might have to pay him as well if they decide to go down that road. So Cole, what do you think about it?
Well, if they go down that road.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things that you're happy about. I hope he has the success this year, just so they can get sucked into a contract with him.
Yeah, right.
I'm okay with that. I'll sacrifice a year.
Can they still pull the 5th-year option on Daniel Jones?
I thought they denied it this past year.
It's so expensive.
Denied it, yeah.
I thought they had to decide before the season. No, I thought they did.
You have to bring
He didn't sign it.
I don't think they did. So I think
okay, well then you have to resign Daniel Jones. I don't.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, you laugh, right? You laugh, like But at the same time,
But let me tell you something, man. You're only as good as your offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
That offensive line has been as horrible as it's been. I would manage anywhere, and the kid keeps coming back. So it's hard to really. You see what he's doing now. Now I don't think you can win that way. David, I would think that you would recognize that Hurts has been taking some big hits and that it's not smart going forward. I'm not saying don't run the ball, but man, he's been taking some hits, and you don't want to lose Hurts. So
I'll be honest.
Thought on him running,
watching all the games, he really I don't know if they. I don't know if this
couple games he's gotten hit.
Honestly, the last couple games. The thing is, the only times he gets hits really are the quarterback sneaks. Really now, I mean. He kind of reminds me of Wilson early in his career. Like, he actually slides every time. He doesn't actually he takes hits when he gets sacked, but he doesn't take hits running as much as you'd think. One, he's a really strong runner, and he's just good at, like, when you watch replays, he just avoids big contact a lot.
That did too for a couple of years.
Luckily.
Yeah.
But, I mean, unfortunately, the way the Eagles run their offense, they have to make him a threat, because that's part of what makes them hard to stop is, you can't just stop the run.
Well, that's what I was saying with that. In order for Dallas to be reach their maximum potential, he's going to have to do what he did last game.
Yeah,
he's going to have to do a little bit of read option down near the goal line. On the third, everybody forgets. That's what cracks me up. I don't know if they forget or they just want to, shit on a man. But he single-handedly beat Seattle in that playoff game. They needed a third down. He ran over two dudes. One being the linebacker. Like with the Rams, and then he ended up scoring on that drive. I mean, in order for Dallas to be good, they're going to need Dak to move out of the pocket and occasionally run the ball. I think that's what helps Hurts. But before you hopped on, we were talking about DeMarcus Lawrence in the Eagle game. He was very undisciplined. There was multiple times that he collapsed inside. And allowed Hurts to get to the outside. If you saw last game, that's the one thing Houston did. They don't have a lot of talent on defense, but they stayed true with their rush, and they kept him in the pocket. Now, I'm not going to say he can't throw him in the pocket, but if you keep him in the pocket, that's your best bet in beating Hurts. What's your thought on that?
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the pit, listen, I know it was Pittsburgh. Just hear me out. I know it's Pittsburgh, but we didn't have a red zone. We didn't get inside the red zone the whole game. We scored 30 some points, and every touchdown was outside the 20. So we had I think we had 4 touchdowns over 20 yards. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but the thing is,
everybody was
I really like our offensive coordinator. He's really good. Like, basically what you try to take away, we adjust to. So you try to take away the run, they'll start throwing the ball. And he's proven in all the games I've watched that, like, whichever way the defense goes, we adjust to that. We can basically just kind of dice you whatever way you want.
I think I'm sorry, Cole, to jump on you right there, but when my whole thing with the Eagles and it's how are they going to come from behind, when they're actually behind. Because right now they've had the luxury of being able to relax a lot of the time. They do get behind, maybe a touchdown. There was one game where they jumped. I think they was like down by 14 points. And they did a good job.
That was the Jaguars game,
down, but that was still in the first half. Now with them not being as good of a second half team, that's where I think the playoffs, it's not getting you ready for the playoffs. And I think that's where I think Dallas hasn't as well been tested when it comes to a lot of, we've played better quarterbacks, but I don't think any of them has just really tested this defense where they're just, slinging it all over the place, making them stress. So, I think both defenses have had that luxury of being able to get to the quarterback. Now, what do you think about your offense? Do you think it can come from behind and not having to rely on just the running game? Do you think they can sling it to A.J. Brown and all the, your weapons?
Yeah, the other thing we've done really well at the end of the first half, the Texans game, now we didn't hit the field goal, but they had like 30 seconds left and they get down the field. I think we actually lead the league in chunk plays right now, believe it or not. I'd have to.
No, I think you're right.
We're not at the top. We're either at the top or we're near the top 5. I forget exactly, but so I totally believe that they can move the ball real quick if they have to. The thing is a lot of times we're ahead, so we're running the ball and running the clock down and that kind of whole thing. But so it looks, the way they play defense, they'll let them run 5 yards at a time when we get up, and people don't like it and the fans hate it, but it does work. So.
Right.
So what do you Coles, go.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask, how do you feel your offensive coordinator? You think he's gonna get a head coaching job?
I think that everyone talks about Gannon, right? Like he almost got the Texans job. Shane Steichen, that dude needs to get he needs to get a head coaching job. Like I would be shocked if he doesn't get a lot of traction in the offseason because he's pulled all the plays. And look at the offense. Sirianni's actually done a really good job as coach. And he's basically said, like, I'm letting him do that. And I'm going to focus on coaching the whole group. And, some people don't like him and they don't like his press conferences, but he gets the fucking job done. So, sorry. I don't know if I'm
you're good.
You're fine.
I think he's probably the most useless person on your whole team. Like
right
now, I think everybody's been doing.
That's totally wrong, bro. I'm sorry, it's wrong. He honestly, you can say all you want, but he's the whole reason we have the culture we do, and the culture is half the reason we're as good as we are. Frankly,
he's full of. He knows he has a great motivational background. He knows how to motivate his team. Something that I think Mike McCarthy finally got the respect of his team, but the Philadelphia.
Here's the deal, though. It's a year-to-year league. Last year he was getting shit on because of the same.
They were losing.
It's all about the players. I'm sorry. It's about going to get A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
It's about every move that has been made.
James Bradbury. There's so many moves.
But there's nothing there that's long-term.
Yeah.
I'm not here to, like I said, right now they're the best team, and that's how we're going to deal with it. But this season, like I was telling me and my guys here, that there's no trophies given after the first 8 games. We're only evaluating the first 8. I like our ceiling going forward. Listen, man, injuries happen. It's each game it's by attrition. I don't wish injury on anybody, but I like where we're sitting. Are we going to win a division? I don't think so.
No,
but
probably not. But I don't think it's going to be
games.
I don't think it's going to be real close.
It's going to be the Giants. Giants going to kick off.
But we'll see what happens. Because if we split out of the next 2, listen, could we win 2? Yeah, but I would be a homer if I said I guarantee we're going to win the next 2. I'll be happy. We're at Green Bay and at Minnesota. If we
I can see it happening.
I can see it
happening, but
I can see us getting both teams.
Yeah, I could see it too, but let's just say split. The rest of
my question is, other than the Eagles, do you guys actually even have a tough game on your schedule left? I don't even know.
After these 2 and the Eagles, I think that's it. I think everything else is. I'm not just saying that.
I can rattle off.
We're supposed to.
But I think it's harder. It's harder because we have to go to Tennessee at the end of the year.
They're getting better.
I don't care what you say. That's a tough place to play.
It
is. So okay, so we got the bye. We're at Green Bay.
And it's a
we're
Thursday
at
night
Minnesota.
game.
Okay. We're home against. Now this is where I think we could roll. We're home against the Giants. We're home against Indy. We're home against Houston. So that's why I said, that's all home games. So that's why I said if we split, the next 2, which is being fair. Okay, so that puts us at 6-2. That's 7-3. We win the next 3. That's 10-3. Okay, and then it all comes down to the Eagles game on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Okay, now honestly, looking at it now, I don't think that's going to be for a playoff spot. That's going to be to keep us in the division hunt if it goes the way I think. We're home against the Eagles, and then we're at Tennessee, which I might be going to that game. I don't know yet, and then at Washington, which I'll be at that game.
So many bad teams this year.
So
there
that's
is,
what I'm
but that's
saying.
what I'm saying. Like,
I
when
can sit here honestly, David, and tell you that we're winning 12 games.
Well,
as long as that.
Well, let me
winning 12. Now, if we would have had this conversation before the season that the Eagles are looking at 14, fucking 15 wins, and we're looking at 12, I would have been like, "There's no way in hell."
Well, let me say this, and this is regarding like, okay, we're not playing nobody, so we'll get us ready for the playoffs. Like I stated, 3 of our teams, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, are in the playoffs. Then we got what?
49ers.
And how many? I think there's like 2 teams gonna come out of the NFC West.
It's all going to be seeded, Cole. It's all going to see who plays who. I don't give a shit.
My whole thing.
We need to stay in the 5th seed. We need to stay in the 5th seed. We do not need to play the 49ers.
I think we're better off this year to play them, but yeah, right. They're going to get. Yeah,
we do not want to play. We do not want the 49ers. I don't want to. I know I sound like a coward, but I'm telling the truth.
Nobody wants them, believe.
You do not want to play the 49ers in the playoffs.
I think they're going to start getting better and better.
Yes.
Well, they're physical and they're well coached, and now they have a superstar running back if he can stay healthy. If he stays healthy to the playoffs, they're contender.
Yes.
Well, I'm interested to see if the quarterbacks can stay healthy. I think that's the biggest thing too with them because I mean you got Trey Lance who just went down, and what did Garoppolo have a problem with? I mean he wasn't like he was healthy all the time. And what happens if he steps out? Where's their third? Who do you even know who their third stringer is backup is now? So I mean right there. The San Francisco 49ers mean nothing to anybody. So it's just like that. I mean, that's how the NFL, it's a week-to-week league. We see teams that are supposed to have
against the Niners
any chance going forward. Yeah, I mean.
We got Christian McCaffrey throwing the ball for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know. That's probably what you're going to be. It's probably exactly what you're going to have. You know, Christian McCaffrey and the Wildcat. So, I mean, when you look at this division, I mean, I think we said this a couple of weeks ago. I think 3 teams could definitely go into the playoffs. But when you look at this playoffs in general, do you fear a Kirk Cousins? Do you fear a possible Kyler Murray? Do you fear, so you look at the NFC East. I mean, really? Do we really fear any? We're talking about each other because that's the only threats.
It's really true.
And so as much as we're talking each other crap, it's just that's where the threat is. That's the person that stands in front of you in the possible Super Bowl. And whether you're, the defenses are doing really well and they have complementary quarterbacks. So I mean, I'm interested to see where both of these teams go. And I said it before earlier in the season when it first happened. I say it again: the third meeting between us is what's going to matter the most.
I think that's true, David. I think we're going to end up playing a third time. Listen.
Yeah, we are.
It's gonna be,
and it's going to be in Philly.
It's going to be in Philly, and it's going to be a fucking championship game.
I'm telling
you,
I'm going to be there, man. I was at the last one. I'll be at that one.
That'd be like a rematch
says, a good show, guys. Thanks.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead and let's start to roll it up and finish it out.
Yeah, because we're getting close to. It's 5 up.
We could be talking here for hours by this point.
We normally go anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15. I would
we didn't
say.
Even talk about the defense.
Yeah, it is. I would say it was cool having David on, and maybe he could. He's a cool. Eagles representative. We could bring him on before. I know I'm going to get Philly 500s coming on again before the next Christmas Eve game. We'll have to figure that out. We'll bring him on again. It was cool talking. We're very cool dudes.
It was fun.
But I like having.
You're more realistic about shit.
I love having.
I know. I'm a realistic fan. I really am.
But he knows. But David, I'm from this area. And I'll run down real quick. I hate the Boston Celtics. I hate the New York Mets, and I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I understand what, a lot of the Cowboys fans in this area, they're just loud now, and it makes us all look bad. But be that as it may, thanks for coming on, Dave.
Yeah,
hang on, and
so David, let people know out there, so if they're watching, so they can find you on what channel or what platform.
So I mean, the only thing I do is I haven't done it recently, but I do Twitch streaming video
Nice.
games. I play card games.
Oh,
And,
well,
There you
yeah,
go.
well, I have to get with you with that thing because that's what me and Phil were thinking
Yeah, we're
about.
talking about doing some video games.
Like we have some ideas. So
you should definitely contact me because I can give you
Yeah.
some good tips. I've been doing it for
Yeah, I
5
need
years.
some. Yeah,
If people wanna
Twitch to
find
go
me, it's-
live with them.
Yeah, my name's Keludar on Twitch. It's like hard to spell. It's Keludar. You can find me on Twitch or
Yeah,
Twitter
that's
or
cool,
anywhere.
though.
But I used to do a podcast on the card game there, but now I stopped playing that game. So, but yeah, it's fun. I think I want to get into sports stuff more because I honestly know more about that than anything. So,
Yeah, well, we were thinking, like taking our fans as we grow. Me and Phil have been doing this for a few months. Maybe going on to Twitch, doing some online gaming with our
community
friends,
gaming is great.
like whatever it is. Take our fan, whoever it is, and, that's what we were just to grow the channel. So that's what we're looking at. And Cole's Cowboys.
Yeah, Cole, let everybody know if they don't already know where to find you.
Oh yeah, y'all can find me at Cole's Cowboys on YouTube and Twitter. Your boy just hit 300 last night.
Nice. Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I gotta get to my channel.
Uh,
My channel's suffering. I haven't done shit, but I'm always
hey
on.
man, shoot.
I'm always on with Phil, so it's
I'm
like it's
following.
kind of our thing.
Yeah, I was doing the Halloween thing last week, and it was my broadcast was all kind of messed up. but
Yeah.
anyways, I
They,
appreciate you guys coming on. Honestly, go ahead,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. No. Well, I'll talk to. I told David to hang on.
Yeah, just hang on. I'm gonna have some credits
Yeah,
and
sure.
everything like that too, guys. I appreciate everybody coming on. Jack, look at Jack
Jack
coming in at
Meeker,
the
you're
end.
late again.
He's
my
always
brother.
if you do it enough
Alright.
time, people just respect you for it. Okay, just make it a habit. So
Hey,
Angelica
Tina
Bruin.
Thorne, I gotta talk to you. I'll reach out to you on Facebook, Tina.
What?
I'm sorry, what's going on? So.
Oh, okay. I gotta hear about that. But anyways, stick around,
Yeah, I'll
guys. I
talk
appreciate
off the
everybody, and thank you. Hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, but don't forget to always ring the bell.
Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
What you do? You're like a little screw loose type of guy, and that's how I am. So I'm digging it, big guy. I am.
Who are you?
You.
No, not me, you.
Yes, I am you.
Just answer the damn questions. Who are you?
GameTime Bryan, otherwise known as the mailman here,
Cool name. Superpowers?
broadcasting from the illustrious Jobu Studio.
Come on, are you gonna tell me who that is?
Primetime Phil, and of course my co-host GameTime Bryan.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this place is going to explode. $100,000. I don't even need to hear it.